Hello guys, welcome to the 3D market commentary. If you followed us before, welcome to our new slides. It looks a little bit more snazzy now. My name is Becky. My email address is there, becky@tradictive.com. There's also support@tradictive.com, which is there as well. So hopefully you can see that in the middle of the page there. Of course, you can email us if you have questions. I will take you to a different page in a second, which is another place you can go if you have questions. But before we do that, let's just make sure that we cover the disclaimers. Brilliant. So they are being highlighted there on the screen. Of course, it's always important with things like this to read and understand those disclaimers. So please have a good read. Again, these are disclaimers to help you understand that these kind of videos are demonstrations only and are not indicating results you may receive. Okay, all right, so let me just take you to a different page, which is a good place to go if you have questions. So it's tradewithufos.com/Becky. You can come here, get yourself a free Trade with UFOs membership, and then you can come down and ask a question in a public area. That way we can answer it in a public area and everybody wins kind of thing. Everybody can see the answers and the questions. You can also from here book one-to-one coaching if you'd like. Okay, so let's bring up the 3D market commentary. And of course the charts and the price data that it relates to. So we call it a 3D approach because every day we send out an email with 5 major markets, each market 3 separate elements. So the first element is market climate, meaning where is the market going, up or down or nowhere? If the market has probability up, we should probably look to buy. If the market has probability down, we should probably look to sell. If the market doesn't have probability either way, we should probably leave it alone. And that is the first thing that we look at when we trade. Now we use an app called AutoClimate, which is this one here, to help us with that. It's a free app. Once you have your free Trade with UFOs membership, you can download that free app. And that AutoClimate app is scanning through market data and coming back and telling us where we have the probabilities. So if it's a thick blue dot, like one of these, that tells us that we had probability upwards. Therefore, we should probably look to buy. If it's a thick red dot like one of these, that tells us probability downwards, probably look to sell. If it's a thin dot like these of either colour, that tells us not enough probability either way, do nothing. So first things first, let's understand what we should be doing, buying, selling or doing nothing, and we'll use AutoClimate for that. Second thing is if we're going to buy, where do we buy? Sell. That's where UFOs come in. UFO stands for unfilled order. And essentially what it's doing, like these green ones here, show us where we have buyers. The red ones show us where we have sellers. Why do we care about that? Because if we're going to buy, we want to buy where there's lots of other buying. It's much more likely to push price up. If we want to sell, we want to sell where there's lots of other selling. It's much more likely to push price down. So we use those UFOs to tell us exactly where to buy and sell, where are going to be our entries and exits. And then the third thing we look at is market volatility, essentially how quickly. So let's go through each of them one by one. We will start with the S&P. So the S&P 500 is the top 500 US stocks, and we are looking at, looking at the wrong thing here, futures. We are looking at the futures contract for it. Essentially, we are looking at a representation of US stocks. Now, interestingly, this has very quickly changed its direction over the last couple of days. So with our climate, we now have a confirmed downwards climate, a red dot there, probability down. Now, usually the market would go down for 3 candles and we're on candle number 1. So likely that we'll move down another couple of days based on what usually happens. Not to say it definitely will, but more probability. In terms of buy and sell UFOs, we have new sell orders here between 4384.50 to 4332.50. That's where we have sellers, and we have buyers down here at 4248.25 to 4205.75. Now, if we were to hit the stack of buy orders, we would expect price to go up a little bit from there. So bear that in mind. At the moment, overall probability down. But once we hit those buy orders, we might see a slight change. So we'll wait until we hit them, but for the time being, probability downwards. Now, in terms of volatility on the S&P, we would expect that in a year, it would move up or down by 20.37%. That means in a day, up or down in points would be 54.99. In a week, it would be up or down of 121.06 points. in a month would be 252.02 points up or down. So that's the movement that we would expect on the S&P. Okay, moving on to the next market, which is oil. In the meantime, it says there about educating yourself, the different courses that we do. By all means, check them out. We do courses in futures, stocks, forex, backtesting, trading plans, psychology. So check out the ones or one that you think makes the most sense to you. Also, with our courses, a lot of them come with 3-month complimentary access to the apps. So AutoClimate is a free app that you can download once you have your free Trade with UFOs membership, but AutoUFOs is a paid-for app. Now, you can subscribe directly to the UFOs. You don't need to do a course to have them. But the UFOs, depending on which platform you use, depends on how much they cost. But let's take TradingView, which is the one we're looking at here. That is $34 per month. Now, if you take a class of $34 or a price of $89 and you get 3 months access to the UFOs, hopefully the maths works out for you there. You obviously get cheaper access to the UFOs for the first 3 months. So check that out if that makes sense for you to do so. So oil, we have a confirmed downwards climate, thick red dot here, probability down, for candles, and we're on candle number 3. However, so we do have probability downwards. However, we've just hit a stack of buy orders. These buy orders are 68.87 to 65.25. Now, these buy orders have already worked once, twice, 3 times already to push price up. That's what we expect buyers to do. That's why we want to know where they are, so we also know where to buy. So we would expect that price would go up a little bit from having hit this stack of buy orders. However, overall, looks like we do have quite a little bit of momentum there to the downside. So for the time being, I would say keep out, to see which side is going to win. At the moment, you've got sellers coming in from the climate and buyers coming in from that UFO. One of them will win. We're not sure which one at this point. So you'd have to wait and see, I think, as to what is likely to win that game. We'd expect in a year movement up or down of 37.15%. which means in a day, up or down of 1.63 points, in a week, up or down of 3.58 points, and in a month, up or down of 7.5 points. Okay, next market. Whilst I'm loading that, have a look down here about the coaching and support. Of course, we do coaching for free on YouTube and then other platforms as well. So of course, you can join us on those. Coaching community, which is $21 per month, and for that you get more access to our time in a sort of. Okay, so with gold we have an unconfirmed climate, so it doesn't matter that it says up, it doesn't matter that it's blue. What matters is it's a thin dot, it's unconfirmed. That means not enough probability either way, and so therefore best to leave it alone. Change time frame, change market. Now, we do have sell UFOs really close by from 1866.0, which is this one, finishes here, 1866.0 to 1804.4. That's our closest stack of sellers, very, very close by. So it may be that price will get pushed down from this point and we'll get a confirmed downwards climate, but we'll see. Closest buy orders are here at 16.4, so quite a way down there. At the moment to call it, but I wouldn't be surprised to see this confirm itself to the downside over the next couple of days. Okay, market volatility, we'd expect in a year up or down movement of 14.6% on gold, which means up 5.98 points. Okay, so that's gold. Let's move on to buy orders here at 92.42 to 92. That's what we expect sell orders to do, is push